All right, RJ. I know you're doing the post game tweets and stuff there for us. Um, that was an intense game. That was intense at the end there. Started off as a speed run. That first period went by in a flash. That was wild. It was a fun first game to do for the Patreon live commentary though. I think that went really well. Thanks to everybody who joined us for that one. I had a really good time with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that was a great time, and yeah, great to get a win for it too.
Mm-hmm. So scary at the end from Four Horsemen that Drieger Clear was bold. Yeah, that's on RJ. RJ brought up that
Yes, my fault.
wanted Drieger to
My
go for the
fault.
empty net. That was, of course, when they had a 2-goal lead, not a 1-goal lead.
Mhm.
And I do think
But I
that
was
that's
saying, yeah, shoot it.
but I do think that's what was on Drieger's mind there.
Yeah, I know.
Not the best
Man.
time to do that though, but they survived it. That's what's important. Yarncroke gets that insurance goal at the end, and Kraken pick up a 3-1 victory, get back in that win column, and another 2 points.
Yeah, absolutely, and huge game for them. They needed a win to kind of turn this skid around, especially heading out on the road. And what a bounce back from Drieger too. It's just so many boxes you can check off for their confidence in this one.
Yeah, for sure. They played an amazing game, good team game. Yeah, there were some rebounds from Drieger that can definitely be said. There was a couple times defensemen had to come up big. How about Adam Larson stopping that one right at the goal line?
Yes.
Just stick down right where the puck was. Incredible. That was huge. That was a huge save. But yeah, overall it went pretty well, that's for sure. Ryan Donato returns the favor again. A points machine went on the ice from Four Horsemen. Yeah, happy that line got a revenge goal. Likes them starting the game off too.
And for Donato especially, kind of being cast off just this past season from the Sharks. I mean, that feels good.
Exactly. Drieger over Grew. That's from Hunter. Yeah, I mean, certainly right now, if Drieger's going to be hot and Grew's not, then yeah.
Yeah.
That's, again, the
benefit.
benefit.
Although we'll see Grew tomorrow, but that's, it's back-to-back. So
Right. But again, that's the benefit of having both of them. You could ride the hot hand. What did we think of the D pairs tonight? For the most part, okay.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of switched things around from what they had been going with.
Yeah,
I like they kind of just cobbled it together, but it worked well enough.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, we talked about how well Lausanne was playing, and we liked that he was really the only one that was physical in a game where the Kraken were outmuscled. Like, that is definitely something you could say about this game. And so I liked that. I liked Susie being back in the lineup. I think he plays really well. Does a lot of the little things good. But so yeah, I think for the most part, I think the D pairs worked out okay tonight for Horsemen.
I agree.
Cameron, a bad bounce neglected our first ever shutout. Yes, That was
It's
definitely
true. Just
unfortunate.
a tough one off Larson. Nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, you know, lucky bounces that you need to get a shutout, you know,
Hmm.
all except for that one.
Yep.
Striatic, Ryan Donato, Revenge Artist, and Kraken Legend want him in Seattle forever. I agree with that sentiment.
Yep. Absolutely. And with that first goal in franchise history, you know he's always going to be a part of things.
Mm-hmm. Michael, Drieger was nearly perfect tonight. His defensemen were solid all game too. Yeah, I mean, there were some issues at times, like I said, with rebounds from Drieger. There were some pretty juicy
Mhm.
rebounds. And there was a couple times where the Sharks were really able to clog up in front of the crease, really get a lot of bodies there. Um, but everything ended up working out okay. I mean, the Sharks never really took advantage of those opportunities. So
Right. Yeah, I mean it's good when you maybe playing against a team that doesn't have a whole lot of finishing power, where you can get away with some of that stuff.
exactly. Wenberg was taking some shots tonight. That's right. That was good to see.
Hmm.
Um, what a great effort. So I did some studying today on Gru and also watched a lot of our opponent's goalies. I've noticed that when he allows goals, it's often outside the blue paint. Continued. Many others are just inside. CD also just inside. I think Gru needs to scoot back. Interesting observation.
Hmm. Yeah,
Because
we'll have to look more into that a little bit. I mean, yeah, he's certainly one of those goalies that likes to get a little more aggressive. He's not one of the bigger goalies out there, so he kind of needs to do that as far as just to cut down the angle. He doesn't have the size a lot of other guys
mm-hmm.
do. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's different kind of types of goals too. But I don't know. What do you see, Dylan?
Yeah, I mean, if because he likes to play the angles more so I understand why he would then be aggressive as far as coming out of the crease to be big and all that stuff.
Mhm.
It's certainly it's the thinking man's way of doing it, I guess, for
Right.
right. And so I understand why he's doing it, but yes, um I have liked Grubauer's rebound control, which is something you need if you're going to play that way. But it is possible that maybe just being a little bit more conservative with that could turn things around. Thanks for bringing that up, Greg. That's a
Yep.
good observation. The absolute swagger Drieger had at the end there to go for the empty net goal from Striatic. That takes some serious guts
Yep.
to
And I like that. I like that way of looking at it too. I mean, like you've got to be feeling confident to go for that. Hopefully, this like I want to say, hopefully this doesn't discourage him from like trying at a time where maybe it makes a little bit more sense.
mm-hmm.
Because I love goalie goals and I love goalies trying for it. It just adds that little bit extra excitement when you're up by a goal or two, especially two. If you're up by two, you think, oh man, like if the other team dumps it in, might we see something truly special tonight?
Right.
So I hope it doesn't discourage him too much.
Yes, agreed. Sergeant Pickles, I wanted to, but a shutout W is worth as much as a shootout W. It's true, all the W's are worth the same.
Yep.
Michael, Kraken cross ice passes were so much better tonight. Speaking of passing, Geeky had some insane passes tonight for scoring chances. He did. We talked about a lot of those during the live commentary. He was really on it. We really like that line.
Yeah, no, they go so well together, and Geeky, especially on that left side, weirdly on his backhand side,
Mm-hmm.
had some of his best passes of the night. That little saucer pass to get past Burns, and then of course, on the goal. And great to see because he can kind of use that offhand to gain body position, and then
Right.
send a nice pass to the middle.
Right. That's what I was going to bring up. We saw him use his size, and that I think was huge. That
Yeah.
got things going, especially on that last one that led to the Tanev goal. Got body position on Brent Burns. Not easy guy to do that with. That's for
That's
sure.
impressive.
Thank you, Greg, for the super chat. You guys continue to be awesome, win or lose. You even addressed me talking about a goalie that didn't even start tonight. Glucose juice on me. Thank you very much, Greg. Appreciate
Yes,
that.
thank you, Greg. Yeah, we could use it, and yeah, thanks for being with us.
I know I've been stuck on these cough drops with my bronchitis, and so I've been staying away from the Gatorade because it makes Gatorade taste awful. But I'm missing it. I'm definitely jonesing for some Gatorade, so it'll come in handy once I get back to it. Let's see. Four Horsemen, love the way the Kraken looked tonight. Chris passing, own the neutral zone, one of our best. Yes, they did a good job of forcing turnovers in the neutral zone. Did a good job at stretches of not letting the Sharks gain the zone at all. The Kraken's defensive zone, Sharks offensive zone. I thought they did a good job of kind of doing what the Sharks were also doing at times, which was kind of being aggressive at the blue line and keeping the other team out.
Yeah, it was kind of a battle of both teams taking stretches doing that well, but I think the Kraken just did that for longer and at more times than the Sharks did.
Mm-hmm. Kraken Hawk, Drieger so close to a shutout. I know, it would have been awesome. Michael, the whole team seems so much calmer with the puck tonight. Zero panic. Agree with that. There was only one or two times. I think right after that goal, there was a little bit, but they settled down pretty quick. Like they I think they recognized it and they calmed themselves down, and that was good. And I think that's ultimately what led to the the increase in all the passing that we saw. The sharpness of it. Can we get some love all around for Adam Larson? Of course we can.
Oh, absolutely. Yep.
Beyond just the one play, he played really well tonight. Superfly, hey guys, good win. Bounces went our way today, especially in the second and for the first goal, and we got some solid defense and goaltending. Yeah, it was just a solid all around game. Kind of fun too, all the back and forth nature at the beginning. We talked about that. Yep. I mean, half an hour. It took half an hour to get through the first period. Again, the first period has to be at least 20 minutes. But then with stoppages, commercial break, all that stuff, to only add in 10 more minutes is wild. I can't remember the last time I've seen an NHL game go that fast.
Speed running that game, it was great.
Yeah, but the Kraken hung in there with that, which was maybe a question some of us might have had about them, is could they play a fast, up-tempo game like that and stay composed when they needed to, and they did. So that was good to see. Joshua, boo, no RJ loading screen. That is true. Unfortunately, RJ's with us the whole time, everybody. Sorry about that. Lindsay, good to see you, Lindsay. Missed you. Hey, missed the last few post games. Can't stay long since it's after midnight Central Time, but what a win. Woo. I know. Thanks everybody for joining us on the East Coast and really everywhere. Even on the West Coast here, it's getting late. That 7:30 start.
Every game, I'm so impressed by that. Just how many people from like the Central Time Zone, Eastern Time Zone, always come out to join us, being super late on there. And so thank you all so much for joining us.
Yeah. No, it was good. Four Horsemen, Geeky Pastatanev was lit. Love seeing those two light the lamp. Yeah, it was awesome, and I just love watching them play together. Yep. They're starting to gel, that's for sure. The two of them. Braun, hey boys, quick thoughts. Drieger played well. Shark line was weird, but worked, I guess. San Jose broadcast was really good in my opinion. I still have Geeky hope, though maybe in a different role than I imagined. So we'll take these kind of one at a time.
Yeah.
Drieger did play really well. The Shark line, I thought, did play pretty well. I liked him in the last game. I liked him in this game.
And
I think
all three motivated.
Exactly. I think True is still probably the weak link, so to speak. But that's just kind of acclimating to the NHL and stuff and all
the
that.
Other guys, Donato Dotson have been up for a while. They're right in gear.
Yeah, getting used to the team and everything. San Jose broadcast, it's a good broadcast.
It is. I mean, it's maybe I'm a little biased because I kind of grew up watching so many of them, but Randy Hahn is fantastic doing play-by-play, and I don't know who they had for color tonight, but it's a good broadcast.
Yeah, and then the Geeky Hope, maybe in a different role. Yeah, I think if he's going to continue down this line of kind of what he was doing tonight, where he's going to maybe be the more setup man, use his body and use his size, kind of be more of a power forward, I wouldn't mind having Geeky play a little bit like Ryan Donato.
Yeah, if he could kind of get that drive to the net, those kind of things going for him, he could generate a lot, as we saw tonight.
Yeah, I think that would be good. I mean, we loved the bottom six tonight.
Yes, bottom six is fantastic.
They've been good. Top six needs to maybe step it up at times, certainly on nights like tonight. But the bottom six seems to be really figured out with this. Sergeant Pickles missed all but the third, but does that Drieg's performance compare to his play last year? We've seen flashes, but that was overall solid. I would say so, yeah. And I think the reason...
That's more or less what we saw from him last season.
Right, and I think the reason we haven't seen it is because just the injury stuff.
Yeah, it's just tough when you have a nagging injury like that.
Yeah, so but I think that's what's gonna what we're gonna see more often from him, and it's gonna be awesome. Ty, so what is the Patreon setup? Just you guys talking, or can we chat as well? It's basically just this. So
basically just this, but throughout the whole game, and you're kind of just getting live reaction as things are happening. You're kind of talking about the play as it goes along, and we've got the chat. But yeah, this kind of setup.
Yeah, we we're watching the game and doing our commentary there, and work in the chat as best we can, certainly during all the stoppages and everything.
Yep.
Four Horsemen points in the division. That's right.
Yes.
It's a 4 point game, RJ.
I know, it just swings things.
In
Sharks are
theory.
one of the teams they're catching. They're
Yeah,
trying to catch.
yeah, that's important. It's Kraken hockey, baby. It's from Brian. Larson is the new emergency goalie. It's from Four Horsemen.
I'm on board.
Yeah, why not? And keep him
That
in
was an
these.
emergency for sure.
It was definitely an emergency. And keep him like this. Let him kind of roam around a little bit. I think it'd be fun. Thoughts? This is from Hunter. Thoughts on the Kraken selling NFTs after promoting the environment and sustainability? Yeah, so we talked about that a little bit earlier. Still not super clear on everything. Like, it's kind of confusing wording on everything. As far as the environment and sustainability, I know that whatever place they're running it through is certainly committed to stuff, but I also know that it's really easy to, throw around things like net, zero carbon emissions and all that stuff. I mean, there's all that talk about like those national forests or whatever that we rent out to like
that just is
100.
Offsets. Yeah, whenever you're talking
100
about net
thing.
zero and offsets, you get into some pretty murky territory. So and there wasn't a whole lot of specifics about demonstrating how exactly they're net zero.
Yeah, and there's a second company involved that they weren't saying that was net zero, so I certainly have doubts about all of it. But it is what it is. That's what they're going for. That's what they're going for. If you're into it, be into it. If you're not, don't. You have something to say?
No, that was it.
Okay. Good to see you all again. It's been a while for me. Yes, it has, Braun. Good to have you back and around. Hope you've been well.
And thanks for the suggestion to post the projected lineups on the Instagram story. Mm-hmm. I do appreciate that suggestion. Like that's a good idea.
Yeah, for sure. Lindsay, nearly the first shutout in franchise history, but alas, not tonight. I know. We were avoiding talking about it.
We didn't say the word. We did not say it. We didn't talk about it.
Yep.
But it was not meant to be.
Crazy Joe, 10, baby. Yep. Hit double digits. It's good. I like it. So should Hackstall start Drieger tomorrow in Anaheim over Grubauer? It's from Kraken Hawk. No.
Yeah, on back-to-backs, it's got to be some kind of extenuating circumstances to start the same goalie twice. You just don't want to do it.
Yeah, very rarely would you ever want to do that, and certainly not with a guy who's coming off of his second stint on IR.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably not a good idea.
Don't take it too tough on his knees there.
Yeah. From George, would love to see them let Drieger cook, start Gru tomorrow, then let it ride with Drieger. I would agree with that.
See, that would be okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they'll consider that. Although then don't they just go back into back-to-backs this weekends, right? Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah, they do, huh?
So it's gonna be interesting.
You're gonna need them both either way.
Yeah, and they're rough games too.
Yep.
Right.
They're difficult, but
it's Edmonton, Toronto, right?
But as we've seen, those games they get up for them.
Yeah. Lindsay finally broke double digit in wins. Let's go. Whoa, we don't have a shutout yet. No, we do not, Braun, unfortunately. Lindsay, that is how I imagine most Kraken games this season going. Excellent defense and stellar goaltending without a ton of offense, but still able to pull out the win. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, that's
definitely does fit the template we imagined at the start of the season, kind of more than some of these other games, the 4 to 6 losses, what have you.
Right. Would have thought that, again, we'd see a little bit more offense out of the top 6, but I would take games like this. The Kraken did seem in control most of the game. Like,
he did.
I know not all the stats might have said that if you just looked at it on paper, but like majority of the time felt like the Kraken were in the offensive zone. Mm-hmm. Sergeant Pickles, does that Driggs goal attempt make it to Steve's dang it's? Certainly if it had gone in.
Yeah, if it had gone in, I think that's what it would have taken. Certainly if it had gone in, it's right up there. But maybe he saves himself by getting a toe on that puck as it's coming back.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see. Superfly, I'm okay with the bounces today and take that one bad bounce thanks to the lucky bounces we got with Larson and Susie keeping it out and the Sharks basically scoring the first on their own. Yes, the bounces certainly helped us. The Sharks defense certainly helped us
a
couple
on balance,
times.
You'll take it.
Exactly. Lindsay, hopefully not since it didn't actually result in a goal against. I'd like to see the Larson save in his hat picks though. Grand larceny. Yes.
Yeah, that was a perfect caption. Credit to Sound of Hockey for that one. I just saw it. I'm like, oh yeah, duh, that's perfect.
Yes. And then Sergeant Pickles, Lindsay, say the magic words. We haven't heard it in a little while. Lindsay, it's Emerald City after party, boy. Pew pew. um, we gotta get an intro for those.
Yes, we need it. We need like a
We need to get on that. We'll send all the interns out to do
Yep.
that. Drieger was simply fantastic tonight. That's from Gregory. Good to see you, Gregory. Yes, he was. Awesome game from him. Good to have the confidence in him and that he looks healthy. It's really important. Great game, but also a weird game. Few stoppage time, almost no power play, yet fun to watch. By the way, I believe this is supposed to be the identity of this team. A couple of sharp daggers with the strong defense and goaltending. Yeah, I mean, like we just talked about. This does seem like that's what the team was built for sure. Sergeant Pickles with the dance party and the fun emoji. Sandpipes, Sergeant Pickles, Drieger's goal attempt should make it in because if you are a goaltender, tend the goal. Though I'm sure he wanted the first goalie goal. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was situationally.
Up two, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, up one.
Situationally.
Definitely. And it wasn't that long after the goal, right? Like, it felt like it was pretty
like
bang, bang. Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh, you're going to just throw this game away? But it's all fine. We're happy.
Yeah.
Hunter, thoughts on the Seattle Times article stating that the Kraken are missing out on an opportunity to make a good impression with Seattle sports fans? I haven't had time to read it. Have you, RJ?
Yeah, I actually read like the first half of it, and then something came up that I need to like run and go do, and I haven't got to finish it. But I like Hunter though, asking the big questions. I mean, these are like good things for us to cover, and certainly like that's something we could do like in next week's podcast for sure with the NFTs, with the, we can kind of go into more of a long form type of, discussion on it. But I do think there are definitely some missed opportunities that the Kraken have had, even dating back as far as like the expansion draft that we've talked about a little bit, where I certainly think there's some room for improvement as far as their outreach. But I do think there are good things they're doing well as also. So yeah, it's kind of a mixed bag for me.
Yeah, we'll talk about it later. Give me a chance to read it and you to finish it. But yes, I mean, overall, things can't be too bad. I mean, that arena is full and it's full of passionate fans. I mean, we've talked many times about how the fans stay in the games until, even if things are really not going well. Yeah. Crowd stays in it. So obviously they're doing enough right. Otherwise, that wouldn't be the case. Not all of that can just be pure excitement. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Over the new shiny, so to speak. Jason, Drieger was having a game, good passing and offensive possession. Absolutely agree, Jason. Lindsay, these divisional wins are so huge, especially if we can keep it from going to OT. 4-point swing in the standings. Agreed.
Yep. Hang on, one thing at the bottom of the chat, reading ID, about to drive home from the game. My first hockey game, just popping in to say, hey, let's go. What a win. Revenge line and Turbo scored. Plus that Larson save was a beauty. Just wanted to catch reading ID while they were there if they are still on, but thanks for joining us, and what a game to go to.
Yeah, congrats on the first game. It was a great game to go to. Hope you had an awesome time. Yes, Jason, Adam Larson had the save of the year by stopping the puck at the goal line. I mean, that is true. Like, that should go on all the save of the year things. Yeah. Yep. I better see that in the highlight packages at the end of the year. Just all these goalie saves, sick glove saves, all that stuff, and then just Adam Larson. True Swedish defenseman fashion. Just no.
Love it.
Sandpipes, if they're up 2 or more, I don't mind sending it, but not 1. Yeah, agreed. Yep. Lindsay, Larson's swagger in the intermission interview when asked about the save. Oh, that was easy.
Oh, he said we had to have the volume down on the intermission.
Yeah, we were talking.
We got to go back and look at that.
Yeah. Oh, I love that swagger.
He's a beauty. I hope he's rocking the deep V in the.
Oh, he has to be. He has to be. Jason, their shot selection was mostly from the outside or from the point. Other than that, a real good game. Yeah, we talked about that during the live commentary. You talked about it a lot. Do you want to take that one?
Yeah, it's something that I think the Sharks did a good job of keeping them to the outside and to the point, which is fine. Like a team like that can do that. But what you have to do when you're stuck, relying on these point shots is have more of a net front presence when you do that, because it's not always a bad thing to take these shots from outside, but you've got to have guys going to the net, getting to those dirty areas in front. And be able to whack home those rebounds. That's something the Kraken did not do very well for the first couple periods. I mean, you see in the third, they finally start to be able to penetrate those areas, and that's when they start getting the goals. You look at that first goal, just getting to the greasy areas in front. So, that's kind of what our take on it was.
Yeah, and you want that traffic. You want to make it hard on the goalie. You could see it the whole way in. Easy saves. Every
Yep.
goalie's going to make 100% of those saves.
Yep.
Um, let's see. Sandpipes agree, but Grubauer already has the first goalie assist and first goalie hit. Drieger wants his name in that
Yep.
history book. Agreed. I'm sure that might have factored in a little bit.
Yep.
Sergeant Pickles, I was just hoping for a split between today and tomorrow, considering who is out. Yeah, still missing some people. That being said, some other teams are in far worse shape now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Who
mean,
knows what they'll be playing.
yeah, certainly if the last week hadn't have happened, I'd be with you on like, okay, going back on the road, back to back, some goodish teams. I'd take a split, but after the last week, I really want to get 4 points if we can.
Yep, and they need them.
Mm-hmm. Aaron, fantastic road win tonight. Drieger gave me a heart attack at the end, though. Yes, helped out all the watchers on the East Coast, though, because you're nice and awake for the post game show.
Yep.
Tim, would the almost goal when Drieger attempted his empty net counted if it wasn't touched by a stick and was a result of the knocked down pass? I thought the same thing. I guess it's possible that it wouldn't, right? I mean, because there was
what did it hit? Hurdle? It got Hurdle? What did it hit?
Hurdle's hand, and then it came down, and Hurdle got just enough of his stick on it. But if Hurdle hadn't
hit the stick,
right, and it barely touched his stick, yeah.
Well,
so then
because that's an intentional, he's intentionally. It's not like a deflection off the hand or anything. He's meaning to put his hand up there. If
so
that
then,
doesn't hit
it wouldn't have been a goal.
It doesn't count.
Yeah. So I guess that would have helped in that situation potentially. Braun, I go back and forth on whether our tendency for losing passes and lack of puck control is reasonable and my expectations are just high, or if it really is a bit of a challenge for us. There are definitely times where it seems like it's more of a challenge than it should be. That being said, by and large, I thought tonight they did a pretty good job with it.
Yeah, I thought they did well with it tonight, and as far as where expectations go, it varies.
Yeah, I think I would take performances like tonight when it comes to passing and puck control and all of that kind of stuff. I think that's a reasonable expectation to have is what happened tonight. Jason, I've always hated the Sharks. Sorry, RJ, former Kings fan, and love beating them in their barn. I mean, yeah, they're in the division now. RJ, gotta root against them.
No, I'm good with the Kraken beating them. Just maybe not the Kings.
Yeah, well, former Kings fan. Jason saw the light. Kraken fan now. It's all good.
There we go. Yeah, it's an improvement, that's for sure.
Yes. Sergeant Pickles, I only saw the third but didn't notice Lauzon so good. Yeah, Lauzon played
good.
Yes, Lauzon had a good game tonight, especially in the first. He was like the only Kraken like physical player.
Yep. And that's what they needed against some of the Sharks' bigger forwards too. And he stepped up and did that job. I mean, this is one of the first few games kind of where you look at Lauzon, not just like, okay, he didn't screw anything up, but like this is where you see what exactly he brings that other guys can't bring and why he should have a spot in the lineup.
Yes, I agree. Gonna take a moment to real quickly remind everybody to like the stream. 53 in here, only 27 likes. Everybody, if you can, and make sure you're subscribed. Still trying to get to 2,000. Would love to do that before the end of the year. Lindsay, I bet the sponsors commercial people were furious at how quickly the first period went by. Less ad revenue, lol. I thought the same thing. They were very fast to go to commercial when they finally got that stoppage. They're like, we're out of here.
As soon as we get a stoppage, we're going to get 8 commercial breaks in a row. Just like every stoppage, we'll see one. But it actually wasn't too bad. Yeah,
for sure. Jason, I thought Lauzon had a decent game, actually. The whole team was solid defensively, in my opinion. Yeah, they really were. There wasn't a lot of breakdowns or anything. Couple times we pointed some stuff out, but nothing drastic. Nothing super memorable either. Lindsay, maybe it was just me, but the Root Sports broadcast camera felt super zoomed out. Felt like I was seeing more of the seats than usual and squinting more to see the puck. Yeah, we talked about that. It felt...
Yep. So it's an SAP Center thing, where the camera mounts are. They're a little bit further from the ice than in other arenas, and so it's something that I've heard a lot on like people talking about Sharks broadcasts. That it seems further away. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so that is why.
Also with the empty seats, it's easy to notice more.
Yes, not a good look for them on that. Yeah. But that and just the kind of wide open play of tonight, though, also. There was a lot of extra space on the ice, the way both teams were playing at times. Four Horsemen, any team with more Ryan Donatos sounds great. Good call on Geeky. Yeah, I love if this trend continues
Oh yeah.
for him. SJ Hedgeman, the jerseys on both teams were so good tonight. Love these colors. Yeah, that is true.
It was a really pretty jersey matchup.
Yep, good looking game. Good looking game. Lindsay, man, imagine our record if Driggs had been healthy all season and had let Grubauer get some more rest. Yeah, well, that's, in theory, what should be happening from here on out. Knock on wood, everything stays that way. So there's time for that to come together and plenty of time for the Kraken to get a lot of wins out of it, hopefully.
Yep.
Four Horsemen with the smash the like button, fellow diehards. Thank you for that. JP, we reached double digits in wins finally. We did. It feels good. Braun, I'm having a rough night, so this win was very much an oasis. Hope everyone is doing well, and I'm thankful for you all. Yeah, sorry to hear that, Braun, but glad you're here with all of us celebrating a Kraken win. Hopefully that helps.
Yeah. Yep. Glad to have you here.
Superfly, with this win, we finally hit double digits in wins and have overtaken the Blackhawks, though the Canucks won after being down 3-0, while the Oilers are now on a 6-game losing streak. Yeah, Oilers are in a little bit of a rough patch. Hopefully that continues into the end, this weekend. Yep. Canucks, it's the Boudreaux effect. They're going to win every game in the regular season and then get swept in the first round of the playoffs.
Exactly. We've seen this before.
Yeah. Lindsay, boo, very much not a fan of the NFTs, even if they offset emissions. I think it's a bad move, but I bet it'll play well with the tech bros. Bad look. Yeah, that's clearly what they were going for, I think.
Yep, for sure. They've definitely got some stuff targeted at them.
Yes. Reminder to plug the Patreon. I personally had a great time on the stream. That's from Alex. Yes, I was going to try to spread things out, but yes, we did. This was the first of our Patreon live game commentary broadcasts. I thought it went really well. Everybody seemed to have a really good time. If you're interested in joining those in the future, the link to the Patreon is down in the description below. The next one we have scheduled is for the Vancouver game on the 27th, I believe it is.
Yep, on the 27th.
Monday. So that's going to be the next one we do. Thanks for the reminder.
And those are 1-0.
Yeah, we have 1-0 on those.
1-0 on those.
It's a good thing. Kitty B. Kraken, Dylan, will you be spot broadcasting from Ducks game tomorrow? Gonna try. We'll see how it goes.
Yep. Yeah, we'll try and get as much kind of content from there as we can.
Yeah, no promises, but I definitely will be active on the Twitter, either my own personal, which is at Yelling at the Ref, or on the Emerald City Hockey one. So definitely look out for that. And I know some people that have been in chats are going to be going tomorrow too. So feel free to reach out to me through either of those. We can meet up or something.
From the background, that glorious hair, just go say hi.
Exactly.
That's how you spot him.
Yep. Man, I wish Vancouver never hired Boudreaux. 5 in a win, five in a row. Yeah, that's just what he does, unfortunately.
Yep.
Lindsay, Oilers are looking leaky as of late, so don't count the Kraken out yet. That is true. That's a problem with the team being so top heavy.
Well, Oilers oil in the water, I guess.
Which is never good.
No, that's not good for the environment.
The Kraken NFT Twitter post got ratioed to the point I wonder if there might be some booze in CPA when they announced the NFTs there. Yeah, we talked about that. Also, the Patreon thing with you, Striatic. It'll be interesting to see if they do.
I wonder if they do even announce it. But...
Yeah. Sandpipes, I just hope that the Kraken pushes Orange Common NFT to truly embrace the climate pledge like the Kraken got Pepsi to agree to. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, I mean, when you can leverage your position like that, you can do some good things.
For sure. The Oilers are in full-on collapse ever since the Kraken beat them, ripe for the picking. Yes, that being said, I will never count any game against McDavid and Draisaitl.
No. They can turn a game on a dime.
Exactly.
Yep.
Michael, we've been kind of funny if Drieger would have been kind of funny if Drieger scored before Donskoy did.
Oh my god.
That would have been insane.
Oh, you know what?
I gotta imagine at this point in the room, in the locker room, it's gotten pretty, hysterical.
Oh, I am sure they're like ribbing him about it. And if Drieger had scored that,
it would have been next level. It would have been hysterical. That being said, I think Donskoy's the kind of guy that can also find the humor in it. Seems like it anyway.
I'm sure. Yeah, he'd have a good time with it.
It's pretty funny. Let's see. Alex, it's almost like a 40% power play and Draisaitl shooting 27% was not sustainable. You could say that.
Yeah, when you have a team that's built on finishing and has like bad underlying numbers, like this is what happens. You go on a bender and then you just, can't keep it up.
Exactly. Lindsay got a 21% raise and a big bonus at work today, plus a Kraken win. Today is a good day. That is an amazing day you are having,
Hey,
Lindsay.
good for you, Lindsay. Getting that money.
That is
Keep
awesome.
it up.
Oh, good for you. Reading ID, you read that one earlier. Gary, let's go, boys. Love it. Everybody congratulating reading ID on the first game. Sergeant Pickles saw a lot of good hustle to regain possession after a shot and hold the zone. Quick passing was nice too. Yeah, the back checking trend continued from the last game for the forwards, and I'm very happy to see that because I do
Which is
think
very important to do that against a team like the Sharks too.
Yeah, and it's going to be really important tomorrow night.
Yes, for sure.
Against the Ducks, because the Ducks have been really taking advantage of teams that have been doing that. So, hopefully that all continues. So, and I don't see why it shouldn't.
Yeah.
Lindsay. All right. Speaking of work, I'm on the clock in about 8 hours, so unfortunately I have to dip. Great Kraken win. Let's do it again tomorrow. Good night, Squid Squad. Yes, go for it, Lindsay. Totally understand. Thanks for joining us for this one.
Yep.
Reading ID, thanks guys. The game was a blast. I'll check you all on the recording. Night all. What's the win-loss record with guys on COVID-19 quarantine? Asked Gary.
Be interesting to look at.
It
does seem like shorthanded. They do step up.
Yeah, I mean, and that's not totally unusual for certain teams either.
Yeah.
Sergeant Pickles asking who gets your guys' Davy Jones hats. So yeah, I guess we should do 3 stars and 3 duds. Not really many duds in this one though.
No, not really. I mean, you look at stars. I think you've got to Donato, but that that whole Donato and Donskoy there. Adam Larson, just for that one play alone. I mean, it's a totally different game. Drieger, despite some of the bouncy chest plays, I think he's got to be in that conversation.
Yeah, I would go with Donato for sure, Drieger for sure, and Mason Appleton. Mason Appleton was all over the place. Noticed him a lot. He was trying to get things done. I like Mason Appleton in this one a lot.
That's a good pick.
Brian's got Drieger, Tanev, and Larson. That's a good one too. Tanev. Yeah. Hunter, do you think the players are going to the Olympics after all these positives this week in China's quarantine rules? No, I don't think it's happened.
So.
Given how many,
because we talked about it in the podcast a little bit, and we were kind of leaning no, and then every bit of news coming out since then suggests more no.
Given how many teams are going to have to be making up games at this point and stuff, and like Connor McDavid talked about it today, kind of sounding like the China stuff was making him nervous after seeing how easily it's spreading around teams right now. The idea of that, he said, was kind of unattractive. So I think guys are starting to fall out of favor with the idea of going. And as we know, the players were really the ones pushing for it. So if they're no longer on board, it's not going to happen. For it. I'd love Hurdle to become a Kraken, one of my favorite players. That's from Eric. I'd love that too.
I would too. I mean, he's great on and off the ice. Like that'd be so fun to just have him around all the time covering the team.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you would love that for the press conferences. Trigger earning his starts that he is. Greg just want to say I freaking love Tanev. When he hits the gas, good things seem to happen. If even him missing a hit and flying headlong into the boards, love that dude. Yeah, he is just so awesome. Like every shift.
As long as he gets up afterwards, we're good.
It is hard not to watch him when he's out on the ice. That is for sure.
Yeah.
Irish lad, Gio, second lowest defensive time on ice and no shots. Is he fading from top 4? Yes. I think we saw that trend even before. Well, I guess since he's been back from the COVID stuff, but even before that a little bit, I think too.
Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, you saw his play kind of tailing off a little bit beforehand, and just not able to do some of the things that he used to be able to do. And he can still be a fine player in the right role, but I think they've just kind of been figuring out what the right role is for him.
Exactly. Cameron, we won the sea battle. Yes, the Kraken is mightier than the Shark.
Yep, the Kraken ruled the deep.
Or even Sharks.
Yep.
Plural. One of them's plural, the other one's not, but we still got the
Yep.
dub. That's what matters.
It would take so many sharks to really threaten a
I was
Kraken.
gonna say Kraken's got 8 limbs. You can
Yeah.
do a lot with that. Think of the brain power you need to know what all 7 of those are doing at any given time too. Probably outthink those sharks pretty decently. Not much going on there with sharks. That's my marine biology lesson. They're dumb. Sergeant Pickles, any thoughts on the Ducks matchup, guys? I assume Zegras makes a few sweet plays, but I will cope by remembering he is American. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow it's just going to be tough. We saw what the Ducks did to him, up at Climate Pledge last time. I think if you play like you did tonight, I think, like I said earlier, the key is going to be the Kraken back checking, helping out the D, deal with guys like Zegras and Milano, and Getzloff's really turning it on.
And Troy Terry,
and then Troy Terry, of course. So I think the forwards are going to need to help out defensively, and then otherwise just continue with the pressure and the transitions. Try to get the Ducks defense back on their heels. Ducks defense have a lot of guys that like to pinch up, so you might be able to get away with some odd man rushes like they did tonight against the Sharks. Let's see, Superfly. Gio's 38 and had COVID. He's also on the lowest time on ice of his career. I think should be a guy to sell at the trade deadline to gain some assets. It is seeming to trend that way, though it'll still be interesting to see given he's the captain and all.
Right, and still valuable in the room.
Yeah. Alex, though they were assaulted by a Wookiee and Drigger nearly gave up a cookie, the boys prevailed at the tank, putting another win in the bank. Oh, I love that, Alex.
Love it, Alex. Not an OTL, but I am happy with that.
Oh my God, absolutely. Man. Put that on a shirt and sell it. That is awesome, Alex.
Yeah.
Good job on that one. Let's see, Scott, my biggest takeaway from tonight is that I need to screen name as cool as I need a screen name as cool as Sergeant Pickles. My wife suggested Mr. Vanilla. Nice, I love you too.
All right.
I was gonna
Mr.
say
Vanilla in the chat.
Yep.
It's hard to beat Sergeant Pickles though. That is a fantastic.
Sergeant Pickles got a good one. That is for sure.
Yep.
Braun, there's an article about Geeky on The Athletic. Haven't read it, but I guess it talks about his love for Pizza Hut. Yes, I saw that one too today.
It does, and yeah, I did read that one today. That was a really good piece by Ryan Clark talking to him, and yeah, I would recommend give that one a read. He's like his hometown population like 200. I mean, it's such a small hometown, but yeah, lots of little good nuggets in that article. I would recommend giving it a read.
Yeah, well, that explains the 200 Geeky Squad shirts.
Yeah, there we go. That just about covers them all.
Yep. Let's see. Geo Show. I enjoyed Dylan's Beniers scouting vid. Is he still the number 2 pick from that class? Yeah, probably. I think so.
Behind William Eklund.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
it'd be behind Edvinsson, who is like absolutely killing it over in Sweden. Oh my God, that guy's crazy. Yeah, I think so. It's still early. It's still really early, and you're still essentially seeing everybody against the same competition they played against last year. So, but given how much he's grown the offensive side of his game, I would say yes for sure, because that was really the only question mark, was things about his shot and how much he could produce offensively, and do you want to commit that much draft capital to someone with those questions? But since he's answered them, for sure, I think it was a good pick at 2. Aaron, off topic, what's everyone thinking on whether the Olympics are actually going to happen? Today wasn't a great day for COVID related news in the league. We just talked about that. Yeah, Aaron, oops, someone beat me to it.
Yeah.
Jagar, I'm going to watch the Kraken versus Ducks tomorrow. All right, Jagar, maybe see you there. Mike, well, who are you more worried about tomorrow night, Zegras or Terry? To be honest, I'm still more worried about Terry.
Yeah, agreed.
Because
that shot is so dangerous, and we saw it last game the Ducks played against the Kraken, and he's just stayed hot ever since.
Right,
so dangerous.
Right, and while guys like Zegras that can create offense and make some really dynamic passes and all that stuff is cool, we've seen like when the last game against McDavid, right? You can do things to try to take that power away from them. You cannot take a quick and powerful release away from somebody. Like that's just there with them. And so you give guys like Troy Terry an inch and they will take a mile with it. So Terry for sure is the one who worries me a little bit more. What is a reasonable contract for Hurdle if he makes it to free agency? That's from the Sandpipes.
Let's see. I mean, term wise, he's probably going to demand,
Yeah.
maybe 7 years if he wants it. Yeah. So 7 years, you're talking about, getting into his mid 30s. I don't know. I think stuff in the flat cap environment, I would certainly, you know, 8 plus.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I mean, it's so rare to find a center who can do what he does, and score at that level. And just the underlying numbers are fantastic for him.
mhm.
Yeah, he would be very, very valuable on the open market.
Yeah, the analytics help him out. I think 8 or 8.5 is probably what you're
Yeah.
looking at.
I
Just
bet someone
given
would be willing to go 9.
the cap. But yes, if there's a bidding war, depending on who else is available to teams, could definitely see it getting expensive. That's for sure. Let's see, where was I? Ty. I'm usually a turd towards Winnie, but I have to say he was solid tonight. Great vision of the ice and being on top of creating. Yeah, Winberg. I mean, his vision is awesome and his passing is excellent and all that stuff. Do think he needs to shoot more in certain situations, especially because he puts himself in like grade A shooting position.
Yep. There was one early, in the game where like he was kind of the recipient of like the 5th pass in that play, and
Yeah,
really, okay, it's time to throw it at the net or like go behind the net, but he just kind of tried to pass it back to the middle where it wasn't
yeah.
anything.
And it was rough. Cameron, what was the final score from the last time we played the Ducks? That was 7-4, I believe, right?
That's
It
7-4.
11 point, and some of
You were there.
yes, and the 4 for us were late and well after the game was out of hand. So, if I remember
Yep.
correctly,
I mean, they kept clawing their way back in, but then they just give up another goal or two afterwards.
yeah, it was rough. Yeah, Hunter 7-4, I believe. Why is Fleury getting so many scratches? That's from JMG. I mean, he played the last 3.
Yeah, I think so before that. So I mean, it's just with Susie drawing back in, that's what it is.
Yeah, but
Yeah, on the
I mean,
so
no,
many.
kind of no rhyme or reason as to when they're using them though. Like other than I
No,
guess, oh, we're on the road, so Susie gets it, which doesn't make
no,
any
there's
sense.
nothing I can see clearly about like the matchups
Yeah,
that's sticking.
so it just kind of seems to be arbitrary right now. I don't know.
Yeah.
I take that as a compliment. If I had asked my wife for a name, it would not have been very kind either. That's Sergeant Pickles going back to Scott's comment from earlier. Ty, I was at the last Ducks game. Lol. Yikes. Yeah, it wasn't great. Michael, off topic, but think the Coyotes are moving this summer. Houston, Quebec. I mean, they have to.
It's
They physically have to, so they're going somewhere. I don't know that they're going to totally relocate cities on such a short timetable. That being
I
said, they
wouldn't.
could.
Yeah, they could, but I mean, Bettman's going to do every last thing that he can to avoid that, and I just won't believe it till I actually see it happen.
Yeah, this is all like part of Bettman's legacy is making this whole hockey in Arizona thing work. He's done a lot to try to make it work, and it's you could maybe phrase it like he just continues to dig that hole deeper, but
Yeah.
I don't see him giving up on it. That's for sure. Okay, all great Kraken win and phenomenal live commentary and post game as always. But it's 1:45 a.m. here on the East Coast and need to get some sleep before work tomorrow later today. It's from Joshua. Yes, Joshua, please go get some sleep. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been fun, but absolutely got to take care of yourself. Sergeant Pickles. Oh yeah, it was the Grubauer in some places they throw beer cans at you game. Yes.
Yep.
Michael, going to bed too. Got to save my energy for yelling at Ducks game tomorrow. Yes, awesome, Michael. Hope to see you there, maybe. Superfly, I would stay away from any of those top free agents next summer. There's going to be some huge overpayment given how few will actually make it to free agency. That does seem to be like the trend, certainly in the NHL. So if you guys will make it to free agency, then yes, the bidding gets out of control.
The only ones that are ever worth it are the true superstars, like the Tavares level ones, but those are so rare.
Yes. Sandpipes. Elliot Freeman apparently heard a suggestion that if the Olympics hockey doesn't happen, they could hold a tournament on the West Coast, including at Climate Pledge. That would be interesting. Although, given if the Olympics really isn't happening because they need to make up NHL games, then I would assume that's not going to happen.
It'd be the COVID situation as well. All of a sudden, you're having this tournament.
Yeah. So that it'll definitely be interesting to see what they decide to do. I wouldn't mind like kind of a weird prolonged all-star type thing though. That could be fun.
Certainly if Seattle hosted some of it.
Mm-hmm. Hunter, living in Arizona, I hardly hear about the Coyotes unless it's about them moving or getting kicked out. Lol. Yeah, I can't speak to local Arizona news, but I can imagine the
Yeah.
situation there. Sergeant Pickles, in the biggest example of Bettmanism, he will find a way for Matthews to be traded to Arizona so that they can stay.
That's
Yes.
a conspiracy theory.
Yep. If Austin Matthews ever ends up in Arizona, regardless of how it happens, it'll be, Bettman in the NHL rigging the lottery so Sidney Crosby can go to the Penguins. La 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 la.
Believe that happened.
All right. Whatever.
Not kidding.
No. We certainly can't say that the McDavid lottery was rigged because
Oh no, that was the proof it's not rigged.
Yes.
Nobody wanted the Oilers to win that lottery.
Yeah. Sandpipes also heard that the Firebirds jersey is going on pre-sale soon. That's gonna be fun. Cool.
Yeah.
I like.
I saw
it.
a Firebirds hat at the arena, like before. It was one of the team employees wearing one, but I was like, oh, that looks nice.
Yeah, it looks nice. I'm excited for that. Always excited to have more hockey in California. Can never have enough.
That's true.
Yes. So wow, gosh, this flew by as quick as the first period of that game. 51 minutes into the stream. Thanks everybody. I think we're gonna go ahead. Oh, Sandpipes thinks it might be on Friday. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but that's exciting. Yes, Sergeant Pickles is off to bed. Cheers, everyone. Yes, I think that's going to do it for us. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on this. Thanks to those of you that were with us for the live commentary via the Patreon thing. Awesome Kraken win.
Yeah, back in the win column. Love to see it. Let's keep the momentum rolling. Let's do this again tomorrow.
Yeah, got to double digits. It was a good win, solid win, good team effort. Everybody was solid. Drigger looked amazing. Lots of fun stuff, and it's been fun to talk about it with everybody. But that's gonna do it for us. We will see you all. Well, definitely RJ will see you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
We'll see. Yeah.